Jersey. I'm so proud personally to live in one of the few states around the country to mark this holiday to celebrate the community in New Jersey. I hope your family has had a very, very happy celebration this last month, and I know this holiday reminded me of one of the wonderful benefits of living in such a diverse place like in our community with so many openness to so many different people of so many backgrounds. You know, I was talking about Gurbir, our Attorney General, a minute ago. Gurbir and I actually played together on the tennis team in West Essex. If you didn't know that, if you see him, you can remind him that I used to beat him regularly. But we talked about how the fact that I think he was the only Sikh in the school at the time that he was here, that we were in high school together. And having him there, and you know him, if you've spent time with him, you know how good of a person he is and somebody who really takes the time to talk to you. But having him there always, it gave a chance for people to say, so can you explain your religion to me? Explain this. Because people don't understand. And too often we just assume things instead of actually taking the chance to listen. And I think Gurbir, at a young age for me, opened me up to understanding so much about your religion and understanding the traditions. And the fact, most importantly, that you're warriors and to be careful because you're tough, as Gurbir always reminded me. I really am grateful to be here today. And we're also, as you know well, facing tough times in our broader community. I know if you look at the statistics we have an uptick in racially motivated crimes and religious-oriented crimes and discrimination in our country right now. As a Jewish American, you know, the American Defamation League, which studies has a lot of these statistics, we know that incidents are significantly up in the last year and broader in the last 2 years. And I know that people in your faith have been targeted as well. I think it's why it's more important than ever that as we celebrate this month, celebrate Sikh Americans this month, we also use it as an opportunity to teach and explain to our children and to our families that what makes America so great is all of our differences. That is what built this great country. It's what built our economy. It what continues to show our strength, that we come from so many different places and that we are indeed a nation of immigrants. I know that might not be easy every single day when there's an attack to try to think of the broader goal of what America is all about, as de Tocqueville said, to build a more perfect union. It's why I'm working very hard against those who don't understand and who do purvey attacks or discrimination. I joined, as soon as I got to Congress, the Congressional American Sikh Caucus. It's one of the first things I did when I got to Congress, the bipartisan group that stands against bullying and hate and talks about the importance in the Sikh community of standing together against that. You know, we need to be very proud of places like this, of places of worship, of places that celebrate who we are and our diversity, whether it's prayer groups or yeshivas or parochial schools, all the many diverse groups that we have in our state and in our country. We should not focus on what divides us, but what unites us as Americans. And I always think we're at our best as a country when we remember that. Whether it's political party or religion, my friends, what makes us strong is our differences. You know? And if we remember that we are all God's children in the end, that is what's most important in how we look at each other and how we treat each other. I'm working very hard as a member of Congress to make sure that not just talking about these issues, but making sure that we are able to get back resources to our state to protect our religious institutions from attacks or violence. I think it's very important that we have to do both. We have to talk about these issues, but also be prepared. And so I'm working to claw back as many resources back to New Jersey as possible and to make sure that we're always safe and that you always feel safe. And my office doors are open to you. I want to thank you. Please know that we're here for you if you need anything at all, whether it's fixing a pothole or dealing with an issue related to this institution. I congratulate you on your success here, and I know this will be a very vibrant place in our community. And I finish by saying, don't forget we live in the greatest country in the world, and even with bumps, our greatest days will always be ahead of us. And it's places like this that will make our fabric as a country strong. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you.
And I have for you a certificate I brought from, that's okay with you, if I could present a congressional certificate of recognition in honor of your opening, and it's something to put on the wall just to remember these fine weeks that were here.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. I've been asked to just speak for 2 minutes with regards to, on a number of fronts, but frankly to thank our Congressman for coming and gracing us with his kind words and showing an interest in the success and the future development of the Sikh community. Recognizing that the Congressman is highly educated, comes from a significant background after being, prior to being elected to the 5th District here. Had graduated from Penn, Oxford, and Harvard, worked with the Clinton administration closely as a speechwriter, and very active in the Democratic Party. Despite our country's overall level of education and knowledge and awareness, the knowledge and awareness of the Sikh community still is somewhat under the radar from what we'd like it to be. And we ask that, and as Congressman so eloquently stated in his remarks, that we be thought of in the context of making sure that we have the resources we need to combat some of the ignorance that is out there and or the misdirected attacks on our community, thinking that we are out to do some harm. As I tell most people when accosted, with regards to who you are, whether you belong here or not, etc. My response typically is, unless your mother's name was Hiawatha, you came from somewhere else. We're all a nation of immigrants, and I appreciate the Congressman's remarks with regards to identifying that so vividly. Additionally, we are also a community that's relatively new to the political scheme. We're of course, with Gurbir advancing, we have a mayor in Hoboken, Ravi Bala, who recently got elected. We're clearly making inroads into the political structure. However, we're still relative novices in that regard. If there are any additional resources, such as federal grants or state resources, that can help us combat the bullying aspect, we would love any additional suggestions or insights as to how we might be able to take advantage of some of those things. Again, we thank you very much for gracing us with your remarks and presence, and hope that this is not your only visit to a Guru Nanak mission.
You'll have me back.
Appreciate it. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. At this time, if I can call one of our trustees, Harjinder Singh Ji Gail, and Karamjit Singh, if they can jointly present the Congressman with a honorary membership to our mission. So we have a new member today.
Thank you.
And Sir Vinderji, if you can come also. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji